Okay, we are live. Anybody available? Anybody coming in? I'll give it a second. I want to show you what I have here. Okay. Shalom. Who's on the line? One person's here. Who's on the line? Do we know the guy? Say hello. I'll wait a couple of minutes. We'll give it some time for people to come on the line. And we're going to start this wonderful, beautiful class. Hello, shalom. Adriana, hello. How are you? How's life? Life is good? Hello, okay, some people are coming on slowly. We'll get more people. We'll start this wonderful class. Those who will see it live. Those who will later watch it on Torah Direct. So let's give it a couple of seconds. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, guys. Listen, I'm going to try to make this quick and smooth. I want to thank the JLI, Jewish Learning Institute, who put together this little program of Shalom, Professor, of how to run your Seder. Because I'm gonna do it according to the customs of Chabad. So you'll be able to do your Seder. You'll come home, or you're gonna be home. Nobody's gonna go anywhere. They're gonna daven at home, pray at home, and then they're gonna sit down to their Seder. That's what we're gonna do this year. Be'ezrat Hashem. Every person is gonna be at the home. That's the way it was done when the first Seder in history. The first Seder, everybody sat in their house and they did the Seder together with their family. So there is actually, I can send you, if you want, you can privately email me. There is the JLI put out a sheet, checklist sheet, that I can send it to you. They gave a checklist sheet. So I'm going to go through that check sheet, and that's a Seder plate, which I'm not going to have a Seder plate. I'm going to show you how to put together the Seder plate. Shmura matzah, wine, or grape juice, hard-boiled egg, a roasted piece of meat, like a chicken neck, or a chicken leg, romaine lettuce, and I'm going to show you. We're going to put this together right now. Okay, I'm trying my best with this phone to put together the Seder plate. Okay, charoset, and a vegetable or an onion, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Oh, you make salt water. I don't have a candles here, because that my wife will take care of. And a Haggadah. Very important to have Haggadah. I did. If you need Haggadah, I can send you a link and you can download your own Haggadah and print it. And it's actually this beautiful Haggadah. This is the Rebbe, the Lubavitch Rebbe. It's called the Rebbe's Haggadah. And it has within it all the beautiful interpretations and the meanings of the Seder. So it's really nice if you're sitting by yourself at the Seder to be able to have this Haggadah. It'll give you such a beautiful understanding in everything that you're doing. Okay? So let's start. Okay? We're going to make together a Seder plate. Okay? I'm going to turn this around. Okay? Make it a little right. Your Seder plate. You see what I have? I have at the Seder plate, I have 3 matzahs. Okay? If a matzah is cracked, it's still considered whole, as long as it's not broken off. The piece is not broken off. Now, as I told you, see, I have these 3 matzahs. I'm going to put into a regular matzah cover. I'm going to put the 3 matzahs into this cover. Do you want just this and this? Yeah. I'm going to put the 3 matzahs into the cover. Okay? 3 matzahs. If you don't have a cover, you can take 3 pieces of a paper towel, or 3 napkins. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Just needs to be, we want to try to divide the 3 matzahs into 3 different places. Okay? So we have 3 matzahs into this cover. Now I'm going to take a napkin. I'm going to take a plastic to put it over this thing, because I don't want to make the matzah wet. I don't want to get the matzah wet. Chabad doesn't want to get the matzah wet, so I'm gonna put this plastic over it. You know, in my house I have my matzah cover comes in a plastic. If not, I'm gonna put this plastic over it. Chabad takes the neck of a chicken. Now you see this neck of a chicken. It's raw. I didn't. What Chabad does is they actually put it on the fire. Tzli eish. They take this neck of the chicken. They actually put it on the fire, and they burn it. And then they take off the meat and they throw it away, the meat, because we don't eat this. Okay, so we if you have any questions, you can ask. We put this on the fire. I put it on my stove fire. Gets a little smoky in the house. I burn it. I like tzli, like I put it on the fire, and then I take off as much of the meat I can get, and I put it at the Seder. When I set up my tray, I put it on the right top. Then I take an egg, a hard-boiled egg. I don't take off the shell. I put the hard-boiled egg on the left side. I usually put it in like in a little cup, so it holds it. It holds it. Okay. Oops, it keeps on rolling. You'll have to work that out. Okay. Then I put my maror. Now I put 2 pieces of maror. You see the Seder plate? I'm setting up my Seder plate. I put 2 pieces of maror, one for the maror and one for the chazeres, which we eat the matzah and the maror together. I then use an onion, a raw onion. I put this on the left side. Okay? You can use a carrot. You can use an onion. Whatever you want, celery. And then I made this charoses. I just took an apple. I cut it up. But you have to usually mash up the apple. And so imagine this apple is mashed with different nuts and everything. Okay? That's your Seder plate. That's simple. Simple. I have just now made a beautiful Seder plate. You guys see it? Okay. That's your Seder plate. I've just made a Seder plate. I've got everything ready. This is my Seder plate. It took me a minute to set up the Seder plate. And now the Seder plate is ready for me. Now you're going to see, during the Seder, I'm going to keep my matzah, one of my matzahs uncovered. You'll see that it says in the Seder, you have to keep your matzah covered. You have to say the matzah, you have to say the Haggadah on the matzah. So, but right now we're not holding there yet, okay? So, this is my Seder plate. Before anything, I need to have this plate set up. So that's the Seder plate. Everybody, now if you're alone at home, like even if you're a woman at home, alone at home, you're going to be doing the Seder by yourself, as a woman by yourself, make the Seder plate. If you're a husband, if you're with a husband, then he can make the Seder plate for you. And you don't need 2 Seder plates. So 1 Seder plate will be enough. But if you're home alone with a woman, home alone, do this. If you're a man home alone, do this. Anyway, this is your Seder plate. On this plate, you're going to say the whole Haggadah. Okay? So that's what we need to do first. Now, before you start your Seder plate, your wife should light the Shabbos candles, Yom Tov candles. And if you're a home alone man, then you should light the Yom Tov candles. And you're there by yourself. You should light the Yom Tov candles. Now, if you're going to light the Yom Tov candles while it's Yom Tov, when it's Yom Tov ready, which you could light it, you need to have a candle. You need to light it from a ready lit candle. So it's very important this year, because it goes into 3 days, Shabbos, Yom Tov. You need to do 2 things before Yom Tov, and that is to make an Erev Tavshilin that you can cook for Yom Tov to Shabbos. And then you need a candle that you can, a lit candle, like a 7-day candle. You should go out and buy a 7-day candle, so that you can light, if you don't light before Yom Tov the first day, you can light it on Yom Tov, the candle. You surely have to light the Yom Tov candle the second night, and then you need to light the Shabbos candle, which is the third night, Friday night. So it's important that you have a candle that's a 7-day candle that is lit in your house, so you can light all your Shabbos candles throughout the 3-day Yom Tov that we're going to have. It's a 3-day Yom Tov. It's a long Yom Tov. It's a longer Yom Tov, and it goes into. Okay, so we're starting the Haggadah now that we set up our Seder plate. We're ready to start the Seder. Now, the Seder always starts off with a kiddush with a cup of wine. I got a cup over here, and I brought wine. See, I have a cup. I got grape juice. I'm going to show you. Now, this cup of wine actually is close to 5 ounces, which, as I told you last time, that you can get away with 2.9 ounces. You're just going to find a cup that has 2.9 ounces, or 2.9 ounces the minimum. Chabad actually wants to have 3.2 ounces. So, but it's hard to find such a cup. But try to find the smallest cup that you can find. This is a small cup because you want to drink out most of the cup. Most of the cup of wine. The minimum is half of the cup, but you should try to drink up the whole cup of wine. So therefore, try to get the smallest cup that you can get. Okay? So then, we're going to start off by making the kiddush. The making of the kiddush is done, everybody, even if you're sitting there with your wife, you both are going to make kiddush. So you're sitting there with your wife and daughter, which we're going to be doing the Seder with my wife and daughter. We're going to all three make kiddush. We'll make it together, but we're all three going to make kiddush, and we're going to, now the way you make kiddush, I'll show you quickly, the way you take the wine is you take it with your right hand, you put it into the left hand, and you put it down into the palm of your hand. And that's the way Chabad makes kiddush. You can see it in this Haggadah that says that. So you're going to put it in your hand, and you're going to make the kiddush. And when you're going to finish making the kiddush, all men for sure, you're going to lean to the left while you drink the cup of grape juice or the cup of wine. Okay? Now, I let the wine overflow because you're supposed to have the wine overflow. Okay? So that's what they're going to start. That's how we start off every Friday night, and that's how we're going to start off the Kiddush too. Now, as I said last time, it's important that we start the Seder after nightfall. Because you want that this is not only the Kiddush for the wine, for the holiday, but it's also the Kiddush that is part of the 4 cups of wine. And all the 4 cups of wine, according to Jewish law, it needs to be done after nightfall. So your Seder needs to go for, I think nightfall is around 8:10. You can look it up exactly, but I think it's 8:10. And it goes from 8:10. You need to finish your Seder around midnight, which is around after 12 or closer to 1 a.m. So we said the Kiddush. After you finish the Kiddush and you drank the wine, okay, you drank the whole cup of wine, you lean to your left, remember, because you don't lean to your left, you got to drink it again. So you're going to have already on your table, I forgot to tell you, you're going to have already on your table salt water. And this is salt water. And you're going to take you're going to take your karpas. Now your karpas, it's very interesting. The karpas is what you're going to do next. But before you do that, you're going to do urchat. You're going to go wash your hands. You're going to wash your hands, and you're going to wash your hands like you wash your hands for the morning, and you're not going to make a bracha. You're not going to make any bracha on your washing hands. Usually we make on tilat yadayim. But here you're going to wash your hands, and you're going to dry it. You're going to come to the table, and you're going to take the karpas in your hands. Now this is an onion. You can use any kind of vegetable. But when you make the bracha, we're looking to make a bracha hadama on this karpas. Now it's interesting, it's called karpas, and there's many reasons why we call it karpas. But karpas has we take the samach, which is 60, and we say samach parach, that 60 myriads of Jews, 600,000 Jews, were in deep slavery in Egypt. And that's why we call it karpas. That's why we gave it that name. So karpas is Chabad uses an onion usually, and because we want to take it with our hands. I've seen by seders that some people take it with a fork, and we take our hands because that's how we washed our hands. If you take the karpas with a fork, you wouldn't have to wash your hands. We wash our hands is because when we take the karpas with our hands and we dip it into the salt water, that's why in Jewish law you have to wash your hands. Anything, if you take a pickle out of a jar of pickles, before, and you're eating with your hands, you need to wash your hands. Because anything that came into water, in Jewish law, is makabel tuma, become impure. So therefore, we wash our hands before we take this karpas, this piece of vegetable. I'm going to dip it into the salt water. Now we all know the salt water is because of the crying that the Jewish people cried. So here, surely, when I'm eating an onion and I'm dipping the salt water, and I'm going to make a hadama, bori pri hadama. Now it's important when I make the bori pri hadama. You look over here. It says that when you make the bori pri hadama, you have to have in mind another hadama that you're going to eat later on. You need to have in mind the hadama on the maror. You'll see later on you also eat a vegetable, a maror, bitter herbs, and you're not going to make a hadama. You're not going to make a blessing over the vegetable. You're only going to make a blessing over the mitzvah of eating maror. So where's the blessing over the vegetable? Because you didn't wash yet when you. So the answer is because you're going to make hadama. You made hadama on this vegetable. I'm saying you did wash already, but you didn't have it. It's not part of the meal, bitter herbs. So you'd have to make a hadama on it. So the answer is because you had in mind. So I make a bracha, I have in mind for the maror, which might be an hour or two later. I'm going to have in mind that I'm eating it. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam borei pri hadama. No wonder why I only eat it at the Seder. Now once I ate this piece of onion, it's off my Seder plate. It's off my Seder plate. I don't have it anymore on my Seder plate. My Seder plate has now, one of the objects has been diminished from my Seder plate. I wanted to show you over here real bitter herbs. We actually take this, we grate it, and we make our own maror. You can do that. You can buy this. And you can put, some people actually put pieces of bitter herbs on their Seder plate also. So, we just did the maror, and we just did, you can write, that's why it's right horseradish, correct. So we, when I do the maror, which is on my plate over here, which is a piece of romaine lettuce, I actually put the maror and romaine lettuce together, even though that's a lot. I'm going to show you how much maror you have to eat as we get on. I'm going to show you how much maror you have to eat. It's very minimum, and you can get away with very little amount of maror. You don't have to eat a lot of maror to do the mitzvah, unless you like to eat maror. Eat maror as much as you want, but you don't have to eat a lot of maror to do the mitzvah. Okay, we're going to go to the next concept, which is the yachatz. Okay, so we still have the Seder plate in front of us. We have 3 matzahs, right? We have 3 matzahs. Oops, my egg ran away. That's going to happen many times at your Seder, maybe. And you have 3 matzahs. You're going to take the middle matzah, and you're going to break it. You're going to break the middle matzah, which is called yachatz. Now, Chabad, you'll see it written over here, we break it into 5 pieces. 5 pieces. I have 5 pieces over here. 5 pieces. It's like a half of the matzah, and I have 5 pieces. And those 5 pieces, I'm going to put away for the afikoma. I'm going to wrap it up in something. I don't have anything here right now. I'm going to put it aside, and that's going to be put aside. Okay? So now I did yachatz. Okay. The next thing I do is as follows. So now I finished Kadesh, Urchatz, Yachatz. I finished already 3 things in the Seder. I now go to the 4th thing, and that is the most important part of the Seder, which is called Magid, which means to tell. I start saying the Haggadah. And you'll see in this Haggadah it says, raise the tray of matzahs. I raise up the tray of matzahs. I will give you a little pic. I raise it up with my right hand, and I say, Hey lachma anya, this is the bread of affliction that our fathers ate in the land of Egypt. Whoever is hungry, let them come and eat. Whoever is needy, let them come and conduct a Seder. Now, I said that statement. It says, move the matzahs aside. It says over here, move the tray of the matzah aside, and you have to fill in the 2nd cup. fill in the second cup of the Seder. So symbolically, I'm going to fill in the second cup. Okay, I'm going to fill it. I didn't drink the first cup, so we'll fill it in. I have filled the second cup of the Seder. And now I start with the Manashtana. This year the Manashtana is going to be important because by the Minik Chabad, the world is that the child asks the Manashtana. But even if the child asks the Manashtana, the Minik Chabad is that we all ask the Manashtana. We all ask the Manashtana because we're all children of God. And this year, this Manashtana is going to have a lot of meaning for all of us. We're all going to ask the Manashtana, whether there's going to be children around the table or not. We're all going to stand around. We're all going to say, Manashtana, what is different this night than all the nights of the year? What's the difference of this Pesach than all Pesachs of the entire year, of all Pesachs since I've been alive? So this is an unbelievable Pesach. This Manashtana is going to have an unbelievable meaning to me. This year, I'm sure it's going to have an unbelievable meaning to each and every one of us. Because we're going to ask God, what is different? Look at that. Look at the Seders that are going to be throughout the world, and everybody's going to be sitting around their Seders by themselves, and they're going to be wondering, what is different this Seder than all Seders of the entire years? What's the difference tonight and all other nights? Look at I've been going through 2 weeks already through this whole situation by the Seder. If Mashiach doesn't come, we'll be doing this already 3 weeks, and we'll still have to feel something different. And it's going to be a great question, because we're all going to feel a little bit the concept of Mitzrayim a little bit more this year than every other year that we had Seders. Every other year we were together, we were maybe with the community, or we were together with a lot of family. Today we're going to be sitting simply, many of us by ourselves, some of us even totally by themselves. So they're going to ask the questions, and they're going to turn to God and ask this Manashtana, what is different this night than all the nights of the year? So this is a beautiful, it's gonna be a very emotional Seder, I believe, by all of us as we're gonna gather for our storim in our homes, each one in their house by themselves. After they ask the question, which is an important question, so that's why the Haggadah says over here, the tray is restored. You bring back the and it's placed with the matzah partially uncovered. Okay, so that's what you'll see. I always keep my matzah, I'm going to show you right now, like that. See that? Partially uncovered. I keep my matzah tray partially uncovered. And the reason is because that's on that matzah, I say the whole Haggadah on that matzah. Because I just said a statement. This is the bread of affliction that our parents ate in the land of Egypt. And this is why I'm sitting here tonight, because of this matzah, lechem oini, the bread of a poor man, and the standing of going from Egypt to redemption. And therefore the first paragraph that we're all going to say in the answer to the question that we're asking God, or we're asking ourselves, or those that have children are asking them, this paragraph is a very important paragraph, because as you say it, what is really the mitzvah of tonight? What are we trying to accomplish tonight? So that's why we say, even though we're all wise, we all have great wisdom, we all know the Torah, we are all obligated in talking about the going out of Egypt. And everyone who discusses the exodus of Egypt at length is praiseworthy. So I'm going to ask my daughter Chayimushka, can you bring me a broken plate? A broken plate. Take a plastic thing. Okay, this is my helper. So then we're gonna go through the story, my friends. Don't rush the story. There's no time. I'm not going to go through the whole Haggadah right now. We're going to go through the story. I'm just going to stop in the places where we do something. We're going to go through the story of the Seder, of the Haggadah, and then we're going to come to before the song V'hi Sha'amda. So right away with here it says, the Arizal says in this book, the Arizal says that you have to cover the bread, cover the matzah, and pick up the cup. Cover the matzah and pick up the cup. Whenever we pick up the cup of wine, we cover the matzah. Okay, like when you make Kiddush on Friday night, we cover the bread. Whenever we pick up the wine, not to embarrass the matzah that we are pushing it away, we cover it. We learn a great lesson from that. Not to embarrass the bread. We cover the bread, not to embarrass it. Imagine, how can you embarrass a piece of bread? But if you shouldn't embarrass bread, you surely shouldn't embarrass a human being. So we cover the matzah, we pick up the cup of wine, and we say V'hi Sha'amda, right? And it was like it done to our fathers. After we finish that paragraph, we're going to put back down the cup. And guess what? We're going to uncover the bread. We're going to cover the matzah. I keep on saying the bread, but it's uncover the matzah. We uncover the matzah. Do you see that? Oh, am I showing you that? Where's my Seder plate? There it is. Cover the matzah. Okay, we're going further. We continue and we continue and we continue and we continue until we reach the plagues. Okay, this is a very interesting custom by Chabad, that what we do with the plagues. Okay, so when we come to the plagues, when we come to blood, fire, and pillar of smoke, we need to prepare before Pesach, before Yontiv, a broken plate. I mean, if you have a broken plate, that would be the best. But I just took a plastic plate, which I do in the Chabbalas every year, and I break it. It's a broken plate. And this is a Kabbalistic. This is a Kabbalistic concept, because the whole concept of the pouring of the wine is to break gevurus, to break severity. The whole concept of the 10 plagues was to break severity. And that's what we're trying to do over here. We're trying to break the vessel of severity. And therefore we pour it into a broken plate. Now the world does it. They take their finger, but we don't do that by Chabad. We take the cup and we pour it. Dam, the ace, the simra shasa. Blood, fire, and pillar of smoke. Blood, frogs, lice, wild bees, pests and boils, hail, locusts, darkness, slaying of the firstborn. Rabbi Yehuda referred to them as acronyms: the Tzach, Adash, Bachab. I did not put my finger into the wine. As you've seen, I poured it into this broken plate from the cup. Okay, that's the way it's done. And after I do that, I refill the cup. So now I have some wine in this broken plate, which I'm going to throw out. This wine in this broken plate, which I'm going to throw it out. And I refilled my cup of wine, the second cup that I didn't drink yet. Okay, you with me? I then continue saying the Haggadah. Continue to read in Hebrew and English and Dayenu. I sing Dayenu. And I come all the way to Rabbi Gamliel. I'm coming to the end of the Haggadah, the reading of the Haggadah. And this is the most important part of the reading, as the Haggadah says it itself. Rabbi Gamliel said, whoever did not say this at the Seder did not do his obligation. And what are the three things? Pesach, Matzah, Umorah. I gotta know these three things, and therefore it's written in the Haggadah. Pesach, it tells you about Pesach. Matzah, it says when you say the matzah, what is matzah? What do I eat matzah? In this book is page 30. I take the matzah in my hand. See, I'm going to take the matzah in my hand. Just touch it. I like to touch it. I take it. The whole thing, you take it. And I say, why do I eat this matzah? And I give the reason why I eat the matzah. Then I take the maror in my hands. I could touch it or I could pick it up. And I say, why do I eat this maror? And I give the reason to why I ate this maror. The whole door of a door, I'm holding at the end of the Haggadah. At the end of every generation, every Jew is obligated to see as if he went out of Mitzrayim. And then I cover the matzah, and I make the blessings. I say the Hallel, and then I make the blessings of Gaal Yisrael, and I drink the second cup of wine. Again, when I'm drinking the second cup of wine, I need to lean to my left. And by the end of the drink of the second cup of wine, I have now finished the Magid. And now, I'm going to the next important part of the Seder. And that is that I need to eat matzah. I need to eat matzah and I need to eat maror. Okay? So, I then go Kadesh, or I go to Rochza, only Rochza. Kadesh, Urchatz, Yachatz, Karpas, Yachatz, Magid, Rochza. I go wash my hands like I wash my hands for any time I eat bread. 3 on the right and 3 on the left. And I make a hamot. I make an atilas yadayim. This is, you got to get this. This is a little bit technical. Okay, because I'm going to make now 2 blessings. And I need to do something different by each of these blessings. Because when I'm making the hamotzi, which is the first blessing that I make when I come back to the table, this hamotzi needs to be made on the 2 whole matzahs. Right now I have in front of me 2.5 matzahs. I have one on top, one on the bottom, and a broken one in the middle. So now, I grab all 3 matzahs. It's really 2.5 matzahs. I grab them all. I make the hamotzi. I then drop the bottom. And I make the next blessing on the 1.5. Top whole one and the middle broken one. And I make the second blessing, which is the blessing for the eating of the matzah. Now, I'm going to tell you what's written over here, what to do. That's the Chabad way, but I'm going to tell you the minimum. Okay, both. So Chabad now takes a kazayas from the top matzah and a kazayas from the middle matzah. A kazayas is like in a kazayas of a handmade matzah, shmura matzah, is like 1/4 of the matzah, 1/3 of the matzah. You don't got to sit there with a tape measure and measure it. 1/3 of the matzah. So Chabad would take 1/3 of the top matzah, 1/3 of the middle matzah, and they would eat it together. That means they would eat 2 kizesim, 1/2 a matzah, 1/4 of the top matzah, 1/4 of the middle matzah, and they would eat it. The minimum is 1 kazayas. The minimum is 1/4 of a matzah. It's not a lot of matzah. 1/4 of a matzah. I think with a machine matzah, it's more than it's more like 1/2 of the matzah. Because the machine matzah is more softer. So it's 1/4 of a matzah, the minimum, to do the mitzvah. And you need to eat it within 4 minutes. 1/4 of a matzah. That's not so difficult. As I said, Chabad does 1/4 of the top and 1/4 of the middle. So it's like 1/2 a matzah in 4 minutes. The maximum, I believe, is like close to 7 minutes. 4 minutes. I always tell people 4 minutes. You did the mitzvah of matzah. Again, to do the mitzvah of matzah, you need to eat a quarter of a matzah. If you have handmade matzahs, because usually a handmade matzah is 7 to 7.5 matzahs in a pound, and then it comes out to a quarter of a matzah is a kazayis. I did the matzah. I did the mitzvah of matzah. Then I go to maror. Maror, I need to eat a kazayis of maror. This one leaf of romaine lettuce is a kazayis of maror. This is the amount of maror you need to eat if you're going to make horseradish. That's the amount, something like this. So if you put the both together, you surely don't have a problem, but it's not a lot. If you just eat one romaine lettuce for more, you did the mitzvah. You make the bracha ala chilas maror. You don't lean to the left when we're eating maror. Then you're going to go to koidach. Okay, koidach, you're going to take the third matzah. You're going to take a kazayis, which is a third of the matzah. And you're going to make your sandwich. Okay? So you're going to take the bottom matzah. You're going to take a third of the matzah. It's like this is like a third of the matzah. And you're going to make the sandwich. You can make it smaller. I forgot something. I apologize. You have to, when you take the maror, you have to dip it into the charoses. But the first thing, when you ate the maror, you need to dip it into the charoses. I forgot to show you that. I apologize. So you dip it into charoses. Now, by Chabad, actually, it says we shake it off the charoses. We don't eat the charoses. I know people like to eat the charoses, but Chabad, actually, we shake it off the maror. The same thing you're going to have to do with you see, actually, in this thing it says, now take a kazayis of maror, dip it into charoses, but then shake off the charoses that is stuck, so that the bitter taste will not be neutralized. So we don't want to eat the charoses with the maror. We shake it off. So too, we'll take this matzah, we're going to dip it into the charoses, the maror from the second korech. We're going to dip it into the charoses, and then we're going to lean to the left when we eat the matzah and the maror together. Now you did those mitzvahs. We have completed almost all the mitzvahs of the Seder. I gave you the minimum amounts that you should eat, which is not a lot. And if it's hard for you, the maror, you actually can go less maror by the korech than by the original maror. You can make it even, you can use even less maror by the korech. And then you go to Shulchan Aruch. Eat to your heart's desires. And you can drink wine, and eat, and celebrate, sing, and dance, and have lots of fun. We're then going to come to Tzafon, which is the after blessing of the Seder. And that is, we're going to fill up the third cup of wine. And on the third cup of wine, we say the after blessings. Now you'll see on all the cups of wine, we're going to make a bracha, Ber Priya Gofen, on all the cups of wine. And therefore, after we finish the benching, we're going to make a bracha, Ber Priya Gofen, and we're going to drink the third cup of wine. Do not forget that you need to lean, if you're a man, you need to lean to the left. We're then going to fill up the 4th cup of wine. And on the 4th cup of wine, you should fire me. Totally fire me. Because I forgot about the afikomen. Nobody stole my afikomen. Before you bench, you need to bring back the afikomen. I apologize. We need to eat afikomen. I forgot. We need to eat afikomen. The afikomen is also that you need to eat a kazayas. You need to eat a quarter of a matzah. So if you put away a little bit more than a quarter of a matzah, you put away half a matzah, you eat a quarter of the matzah. That's all you need to eat is a quarter of that matzah. Okay, I'm sorry. You need to eat another quarter of a matzah for the afikomen. Right? Don't forget that. Everybody needs to eat a quarter of a matzah. Or even less. Afikomen, you can be a little bit lenient, and if you cannot eat any more matzah, you can eat less, but try to eat a quarter of the matzah. Then bench. Do not eat the afikomen after benching. Then bench, and then we'll fill up the 4th cup of wine, and we greet Elijah. Don't forget to put on the table a cup of wine for Elijah, because he comes in and drinks from every cup of wine. So I've been told as a kid, Elijah comes and drinks the wine. So if I was told that as a kid, that's what happens. So he comes and drinks the wine. We say Hallel. We finish the singing of the Seder, and we drink the 4th cup of wine. And since we made a bracha, Bori Priya Geffen, on the 4th cup of wine, we bench, we make ala gefen, and Lashana haba b'Yerushalayim. The year to come will be in Jerusalem. My friend, this alone took us 45 minutes. I started this at 7:30. It's 8:45 or 7:35. It'll take you some time. Do it slowly. There's no place to rush. Whoever takes the Seder and goes hours and hours and hours, especially the second night, you can do it a whole night. You're praiseworthy. Enjoy it. As I said, you can get this Haggadah and you can download it. It's a great Haggadah. The Rebbe's Haggadah. In this Haggadah, you have the Haggadah on top, and you have a lot of beautiful interpretations, Hasidic interpretations, Kabbalistic interpretations on the bottom. You can download this from the internet, from Chabad.org, or from even our website, ChabadWestBoca.com. If you need anything, I can send you a link. Please, anything you need, you can email me at either zalmanbook@yahoo.com, or you can call me 561-526-5646. I'll be there for you, whatever I can. If you need shmura matzah, please get at least three for each night of the Seder. Get shmura matzah. Even if they're broke, I send a lot of people matzah. They might have come broken. It doesn't make a difference. If you don't have shmura matzah, using regular matzah, use the broken matzahs. Eat that for the actual the bracha together with the other matzah. Anything you need, just tell me. I will try to get it for you. I wish you only that don't be afraid. It's going to be a beautiful Seder. It's going to be a Seder to remember. You might start making your own Seders. You'll become the rabbi of your home and do the Seder in your home. You'll see that it's a beautiful thing to do. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to do together with the community too, but it's truly a beautiful thing to do it at home. And you're all going to have a beautiful Seder. You're going to enjoy each other. You're going to laugh. Maybe even cry together, realizing what we are all going through right now. But we have to realize that, to remember that that God took us out of Egypt. And if God took us out of Egypt, He can take us out of this situation. And He will take us out of this situation. And we'll all survive this situation with great success. We'll all do the right thing. And we'll all be Lashana Haba B'Yerushalayim. Mirz Hashem will be do it this way this year and the years to come. We'll do it differently, but we'll all be safe, healthy, and be able to celebrate with each other many more simchas and happy and yontivs and celebrations in the future. As I said, anything you want to ask me, zalmanbukiet@yahoo.com or 561-526-5646, and we'll try to help you out in any way. Have a wonderful and beautiful week. God bless you all.